Hey guys, MaxxRev here back with another video, and this is WWDC in 20 minutes. In WWDC 2015, Apple announced OS X El Capitan, iOS 9, and the next version of watchOS. So now let's get right into OS X El Capitan. The main focus of OS X El Capitan was improving the experience and performance. And in experience, they wanted to improve Spotlight suggestions and built-in apps, so more power out of built-in apps and window management. And so let's get into OS X El Capitan demo.
Now your first task, of course, in a demonstration or whenever you wake your Mac, is finding the cursor. And El Capitan makes this easier than ever. I just do that little shake we all normally do. And there it is. It comes right out to greet you. It's really handy. Now, we brought other great gestures to the system. I'm just going to go here and mail. I have a message here from Eddie. Looks like, well, now, that's a keeper. So I can actually mark it unread to keep it just by swiping two fingers across the trackpad, just like that. And this one I'd kind of like to delete, so I'm just going to swipe it away just like that. So some real nice little gestures. Let's move on now to Safari. Now in Safari, I have some sites that I like to keep around because I refer to them on and off throughout the day. And now, in Safari, I can pin those sites just like this. So I'm going to pin my Twitter site here. And of course, I've been following the Warriors. Go Warriors, we're going to get it done. Just like that. Now, pinned sites have a lot of special properties. For one, if I close this window and reopen it, you see that my pinned sites are all right there, and they load instantly. Now, pinned sites also behave differently when I follow links. So I'm just going to click on one here, and you notice it opens in a new tab, but my pinned site remains. Now I'm going to open up a couple of more links. Let's open up this one, and let's say this one. I'll take a quick look. This one looks like some kind of presentation video, and this one's about the Giants. But have you ever had this happen to you? You're like, where is this audio coming from? Well, now, with just a tap, you can mute it or find out where it came from and shut it down, just like that. So I'm interested in seeing this Giants game, and now Spotlight can actually help me out there. So I'm just going to do a search for the SF Giants, and we see right now I get current game scores, upcoming games. It looks like the game I want to go to is on Friday, so I can just search for weather on Friday. See, we get the weather, and can even resize the Spotlight panel and move it around. I mean, there's innovation, huh? But I can also express myself in my own words in Spotlight searches now. So I can do things like slides from Brian. You see I find those there, but how about slides from Brian about El Capitan? You see I find exactly what I'm looking for in my own words. Now, this works great in other apps as well. Let's try it out in Mail. So I've been really busy, of course, the last couple of days, and so I've been getting a little behind on my mail. And I want to see the messages that I've received from Phil, but that I haven't responded to yet. So I'm just going to say, mail I ignored from Phil. And there are a few, but I'll be getting back to them right after the show. So next, of course, it's great in the Finder as well. So if I wanted to look at documents that I was working on last year at this time, I might say something like documents I worked on last June. And I find exactly what I'm looking for. So this is really a great way to search. Now next I want to turn to window management. So I'm just going to run a script here that's going to open up a whole bunch of windows to simulate kind of what my desktop looks like after a day working on OS X, because it's a powerful system. We tend to have a lot of things open. Now OS X provides some great ways to navigate your windows, and one of those is mission control. Well now, in El Capitan, we've made mission control smoother, simpler, and faster than ever. I'm just going to take 3 fingers and swipe up on the trackpad. You see I get into this gorgeous overview of mission control. I'll just bring forward Safari. Let's do that again and bring up Mail. Just like that. Works really great. But of course, OS X provides great tools also to organize your windows, and one of those is full screen. just going to take this window here, full screen, and I'm going to reply. Looks like there's a message here from Eddie. He says that sorry about bailing on the team dinner last night. He was apparently prepping for the keynote, so that's understandable. But it looks like actually I just got a new mail from Jeff here, and now I can just click away, and it hides, and then, oh, hold on. Busted, Eddie. So I think I'll just drag this actually right into my Compose window. It hops right up automatically, and I can do it just like that. It's really great. And I can even open up tabs in Compose as well. It's really handy. So this is a great way now to work in full screen in Mail. Thank you. Now, we've done something totally new to El Capitan, and it's the ability to work really easily on two windows side by side. So I'm just going to click and hold here on the green button, and you see it's prompting me to pick a side. I'll just drop it in, and you notice I get an expose of all my other windows. Let me pick the new News app, just like that. Of course, I can resize this window to style it just the way I want. How about that blur? Again, innovation. So, great way to work. Here I can drag links, for instance, from Safari right in here. And you notice in the new Notes app, I get a beautiful graphical link that gives me a nice thumbnail that helps me identify what I dragged in there. I'm going to drag in some yurts. I think yurts, first time mentioned on the WWDC keynote stage, so there you go. We've got some yurts here. So great way to work split screen. But we've also provided a really easy way to move windows into their own desktops. So let me just take this window here. I'm just going to drag it up past the top of the screen and drop it in just like that. So easy. But I can also do this to take a window full screen. So let's take Photos, just drop it in right here. I took it full screen. And now check this out. I'm going to take Messages, drop it on Photos, and create a split view, just like that. Totally awesome. And that is a quick look at some improvements to the experience in El Capitan.
In iOS 9, Apple introduced a new feature called Proactive Assistant. And so when you plug in your earphones when you're jogging, it knows which song you play the most while jogging and starts to play it. It knows when you're in the car and it plays the appropriate song. And if you have an event in your mail, iOS 9 quickly senses it and it displays it on your Schedule app. And now if someone calls you and you don't know who it is, iOS 9 automatically suggests who it is based on your emails. And now in iOS 9, if you swipe to the left, there is Siri and it has deep linking apps. And so if you click on a link, it goes directly to the app. And so that's a very handy feature. And there's even a return to search icon where you can go back to your searches. And so here is iOS 9 demo.
And we're going to start with a typical day for me today. And we're going to start in my bedroom when I woke up in the morning. And you'll notice, because my phone knows that in the morning I like to meditate, that it's offered me a meditation app right here in the bottom left of the screen. So I can just swipe up from the bottom left, and I'm taken right in to meditate. This is so serene. Oh, well, it looks like I got an email, a message here from Phil. So Phil says that he's putting together the invite for tonight's big karaoke potluck, and can I still pick up this super awesome karaoke machine? Well, you know, Siri actually, when I take reminders, is able to link me right back to what I'm looking for. So if I want to remember to pick this up, I can just say this to Siri. Remind me about this later today. And so Siri will put together a reminder, and you see the link right back to what I'm looking for. Well, I think after all, meditation isn't probably for me, so maybe I'll move on to exercise. So I'll head into the home gym here. And because my phone knows that when I'm in the home gym and I hook up headphones that I like to listen to music, watch what happens when I plug in the cord, my headphones. jumps right in and offers me some energetic music. So let's all bust a move.
Bust.
I don't know what kind of exercise we're all doing here, but pretty good. Oh, looks like actually I've got that invitation that Phil was going to send me. So now normally I'd have to actually go into mail, look at the time, put this on my calendar, but in fact my phone has automatically done that for me. Let me just swipe down here into Notification Center, and we'll look at my calendar for the day. And you notice that automatically it's already been added right there. Now, if we look at the rest of my day, up ahead I have my vocal warm-ups, of course, for the karaoke performance, and then WWDC. So looks like I have a little bit of time to prepare my dish for the big potluck. So I'm going to head into the kitchen now, and let's just swipe in. Now, when I'm looking for recipes, for instance, I like to go into search. So let's just swipe over into search. And we see that Siri actually has already, before I've typed a character, made suggestions for me for people I could contact, for instance, like Trent Reznor, my vocal coach. So I can just tap, and here I can call Trent up, and he can help me tap into my inner pain and rage that allows me to fuel my vocal performances. I actually haven't been able to find the pain and rage, to tell the truth be told. But also, we have all these great apps I can run, and locations nearby. For instance, because it's morning, you see coffee and tea and breakfast places are suggested, as well as news. But in this case, I actually want to do a search. So I have some potatoes I think I could make use of in this recipe. So let's just search for potato. And here you notice I'm getting search results right from Yumly. So let me tap into Yumly, and you see I'm deep linked directly in, so I get the great view provided by that application. Now, potato chips aren't exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm just going to hit the backlink here. And I can just browse directly in to another result, Canadian poutine. Now, that looks like exactly what the doctor ordered. Yes. So let's take a look at the ingredients. Looks like 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm down with that. So I'm going to make at least a double batch. So I can just use search to actually search for, to do a conversion of tablespoons, figure out how much that is. So that actually is 3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to round up to an even quart and make myself some fine poutine. So search is really handy, but Siri is also great at search. So I want to jump forward to later today when I think I'll be reminiscing about WWDC's past. And I can ask Siri to help me with that. Show my photos from last June in San Francisco. Oh yeah, this is great. All these photos from WWDC. And you notice now Photos in iOS 9 has this great scrubber bar down at the bottom. So I can easily slide through photos super quickly, just like this. Let's see, oh boy, now we're into the karaoke night. Oh, this is some fine stuff. Phil really does an awesome Viking crooner. This is good stuff. But of course, the king of karaoke, Eddie Q. In fact, when I want to get really pumped up and inspired for karaoke night, I like to turn to my Eddie karaoke album. So let's do that now. Show my karaoke photos of Eddie. Oh, that is the master at work. Hitting all, I love this hat. This is totally dope. Great stuff. Well, I could really look at these just all day, but you know, actually my assistant has given me a reminder based on traffic conditions that it's time to leave. So I'm going to wrap up this demo of intelligence in iOS 9.
And then the next news app demo.
Thank you. I am really excited to be the first person to show you our new news app. It's right here on the home screen. The first thing News wants to do is get a sense of what I like. So it's going to give me a short list of really great choices to choose from. And you'll see as I tap, additional recommendations come in on the bottom to give me even more choices. So I read Atlantic, Wired, New York Times, and ESPN. I'm still with you, Warriors. And Daring Fireball. Topics, too, like science, baking, and travel. I could keep going, but I think that's a great start. So I'll tap Done. News creates a personalized feed called For You. It's based on the choices I just made, and it's all my news in one place. You can see it looks great. It's easy to scan, and it updates every time I check news. The articles can come from anywhere, but the best ones are built in our new Apple News format. Like this Wired article featuring Rashida Jones, awesome in Parks and Rec and The Office. Look at the rich typography, beautiful images, and my favorite part are the really fun animations. It's fast and fluid. We think this offers the best mobile reading experience ever. To get to the next article, I just swipe. It's not just great for magazines, it's great for newspapers too. This is a New York Times article, and it looks like a New York Times article. Swipe down, there's a photo gallery right in line, fast, fluid to swipe through. Go to the next article. This one's from Quartz, but I'm seeing it because I said I'm interested in science. It's a pretty cool article about a font based on Albert Einstein's handwriting. The animation makes it come to life, and frankly, who knew he had such neat handwriting? It's kind of interesting. Swipe again, and I get an article from Bon Appetit. Great summer recipes, and a crazy little jiggly thing, which is kind of fun. So I'm a little busy right now, so I'm going to go ahead and bookmark this to read later. Next, ESPN. I love you, Steph. Now, I read ESPN for the articles, but there's also some beautiful photos and videos. Some photos and videos built in. Not so much last night. Let's see if Steph can make this one.
Pretty good shooter when I was a kid.
Swish! All right. He's going to be there for us next game. In addition, data and stats are part of what's fun about sports, so of course, rich infographics can be part of it. I'm going to swipe back to For You. Now, news is smart, so the more I read, the better it gets at showing me stories I'm interested in. But what if I want to discover something new? Well, I can tap here in the bottom on Explore. And Explore, based on what I've read, will show me new publisher channels I might be interested in and suggested topics. Well, I love technology. I'm going to go ahead and follow that. But news keeps track of more than 1 million topics. So I can be much more specific about my interests. To do that, I can tap on Search and type. I'm going to type Swift. And I get a number of hits, everything from Taylor Swift to what I was looking for, Apple's new programming language. So it's a beautiful feed, and what's really cool about this is there are powerful machine learning algorithms that analyze the contents of the articles to figure out which stories belong in which article. This looks like just what I was hoping for. I'm going to go ahead and add Swift to my favorites. So let's take a look at favorites. I'll tap down here. Favorites is where I can see everything I'm following, including Swift, which I just added. It's a great place to go if I want to dig into a particular topic or if I want to read a newspaper or a magazine. Let's say today I want to read Wired. You can tell I'm in the Wired channel. You see the Wired logo at the top and the Wired channel starting with top stories. I can swipe through and see a collection of all the print and web stories built in Apple News format, and it looks terrific. I'm going to look at one more story. This is about the first civilian artist in space. Cool concept and really cool. Want to show you this. We've taken photo galleries to the next level with something we call photo mosaics. Look how beautiful it looks on the page. Stunning. And, as you'd expect, I just tap to zoom in on the photos. It looks great. We think there's never been a more beautiful magazine reading experience, a mobile reading experience in general, and this is just one of many channels with beautiful stories built in Apple News format. That is a really quick look at news. We can't wait to get it in your hands. Thank you very much.
And now moving on to iOS 9 split screen demo. And in iOS 9 multitasking and the iPad, the apps have a new full screen multitasking window, and so you can watch all the apps in full screen and open it. And now if you swipe from the right, you get the new Messages app, where you can use both the apps simultaneously. And now if you swipe from the top, you get a beautiful multitasking window where you can select any app you want. And the best feature is you can choose many apps. And the best feature is you can scroll both the apps simultaneously. So that's a big round of applause. And another cool feature is you can use the split screen to adjust the length of each app. And with the new watchOS, Apple has introduced native apps. And then Apple introduced Apple Music, which is like a replacement to iTunes. And so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked this video. Please click on the subscribe button if you liked it. And as always, peace out.